Greetings, Battle Brothers. It's me, Aurelia Tempris, Defender of the Golden Throne and Servant of Humanity. Welcome in, welcome in. This is, definitely going to be a very cursed schedule today. It'll be very cursed. Hang on, I need to turn something off really fast. Sorry, I had another fan going and I was like, oh no, I can't have that one on it. It breaks through my mic filters. It's gonna be very, very cursed. Am I ready? No. I'm not ready. And I hope you guys enjoy. This will be the last stream for your week of Aurelia. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed the Aurelia. Cause there's no, not that there's no more, but you're getting your whole week. You're getting your whole fill. This will hurt the soul, and I'm here for it. I'm trying to remember. I was looking at it, and I was like, I couldn't remember if I watched it, the podcast episode, cause I thought I had, but it's like an hour and a half long. So if I did, I watched it on like a time and a half while I was working on other things. So actually, I don't remember if I watched the whole thing or not. Yeah, we're learning about that Inquisitor, yes. But we're learning it through perhaps a dubious source with if the Emperor had a podcast. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. So, think losing Aurelia will hurt more than listening to this video? If you say so, we'll have to see how this goes. You'd remember if you watched that podcast? Okay, then I guess I didn't watch it. I might have watched like the first 10 minutes or something, and then I was like, I got other things to do, it's fine. Oh, Gone, thank you for the bits. I'm extremely pleased to tell you that I listened to the Eternity Gate speech, and I cried so hard. Yep, that, yeah. That one will make you cry. It'll put hair on your chest. It's really good. It's really, really good. You want to cry? Watch Hell's Reach. I mean, yeah, that one is more, like, gut-wrenching, I say. But let's put it this way. Hell's Reach, you gotta like build up for all the tears. The Sanguinius one, boom. Boom. It's like the tears come quickly. They come quickly. Yeah, it's the epic's rendition of the Eternity Gate speech. That's the one that everyone talks about. It's the best one. Yes, I did see Hell's Reach. It's definitely been like a year and a half now. Ugly crying, a lot of ugly crying on that stream. It was bad. So yeah, don't worry. It was pretty gross. Lots of tissues. Lots of everything. It was just bad. It was so good, but the crying, I cried a lot. I like this Aurelia, and I didn't know you were doing this for a week. Yeah, it was a subathon goal. I've been talking about it. So it worked out because for the month of October, it's a little more like spooky. And so yeah, but you only get it for a week. So today's the last day. You actually got it for more days than you normally would because of how I did my streaming schedule. So instead of getting her for like 3 or 4 streams, you're getting her for 5. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. No wait, today's Thursday. Today is Thursday. I was supposed to stream Wednesday, but it didn't work out. I had some other things I needed to do, but at least I didn't have like a concrete schedule put up. So, oh guys, I don't know if you saw this. Hang on. 1 second. I was supposed to have this prepped and I did not get it prepped. One moment. Speaking of goals and subathon stuff, I don't know if you guys follow me on the Twitters or X, whatever you want to call it, but one of your other subathon milestones was, since we did a Warhammer Fantasy Age of Sigmar themed week, one of the goals was to get a Warhammer Fantasy version of Aurelia, myself. So found this amazing artist named Zeph, and this I basically I said, hey, make, like, I just want Aurelia, but you dropped her into Warhammer Fantasy, so you have a lot of freedom with what you want to draw, and this is what we got. So I want to show you guys this. It is posted on Twitter. He posted it and then I reposted it, but I wanted to show you guys for those who don't have this. This was his idea. I basically said, hey, like, I recognize that the ears definitely make it more elf leaning, but it doesn't have to be elf. It could be human. It could be kind of whatever you think makes the most sense. And this is what he picked. He picked what we're calling Dragon Princess armor. There you go. So enjoy. It looks real good. It looks really nice. Yeah, he did a great job. I was very, here, slide that way. I was very happy with how it turned out. Mm-hmm. It is very fitting. It is very fitting. It turned out really, really nice, and I'm quite pleased with how it looked. Looks. You know, I would look good in like a lot of different outfits. But this turned out really nice. It fits the vibe, the heavy armor, the sword looks great. Like, honestly, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. So make sure you give him some love, because it turned out really nice. Would have thought more of an Empire Bretonia type. Well, I kind of, I like to give some of my artists like creative freedom. Like, if I didn't have anything specific in mind, and I was like, hey, you draw a lot of Warhammer Fantasy, what do you think would be cool? And then he's like, I want to do something like this. And I said, okay, go for it. And that was the conversation. He's like, what do you think of this? I'm like, oh yes, that looks really cool. So yeah. Something about the face reminds me of Fulgrim. Mods, get that guy. Get that guy. Get him. Look, you can be cocky without looking like Fulgrim. You can be confident without looking like Fulgrim. Now I want an Aurelia DLC for Total War. Look, I do too. I do too. That would be so fun. That would be awesome. Well, maybe not a DLC, maybe a mod, because they have so many DLCs. So maybe a mod. We can mod Prince Imric. Turn it into me. And then I could say a bunch of voice lines too. If someone wants to do a mod for that, I would give them voice lines. I would do voice lines for them. I promise I would. That would be so awesome. Oh man, that sounds like great. Don't get me wrong, the man cooked. Yeah, he did. He did cook. I just like to give him like some freedom, because I'm like, I feel like it's boring if I'm like, I only want you to do this. And sometimes it's necessary. But if I don't have any like strong opinions or ideas, I'm like, you know what? You know, try this. Try that. In fantasy, it would surely be Sigvold, not Fulgrim. Boo. Boo. Both suck. Both suck. Someone get onto that mod. Hey, if someone makes it, I'll send them voice lines. I promise I would. I'd do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat and then I'd play it. The question is, what faction would we put you in? Well, I did take that test and I got Bretonia for the factions. But you know, as much as it would suck, because obviously you guys are wrong about this. I know a lot of you would probably put me in an elf faction. No, I'm not an elf. But that makes sense. I can't deny it. The ears. So. Yeah. Yes, they both do. Both Sigvald and Fulgrim do. Hang on. I need a quieter keyboard. My other keyboard, my gaming one, is quieter, but yeah. Okay. Well, no, it's not that I don't like Bretonia. It's just that after seeing that pancreas video, I don't know if I want to be associated with them. After seeing that pancreas video, I don't know if I want to be associated with them. So, yeah. Alright. I really want to get, I kind of want to get to the video. I really want to get to the video today. I kind of getting this over with. I'm also, oh man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Hang on. I'm gonna move some things around here. Ew, no, don't do that. That's gross. Okay. So, we're gonna switch the screens. In a way, we are like ripping it off like a band-aid, but I am like morbidly curious. Although I do know some stuff. Remelays from 40k Theories told me about some things from that book, and I was appalled, and I imagine we'll cover them here, and it's not great. So I know the question is, why do you know some stuff? Because Remelays told me, and I looked into it briefly, and then I was like, oh, this is all sorts of bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So it's not like I like go looking for it. I'm like, I'm bored. Do you know what I want to do? Look at this very cursed Inquisitor in his life. Like, no, that's not how it is. Okay, we're gonna do some audio testing first. Oh wait, hang on, background music off. That looks like it's gonna be very loud. Sorry. I know. Like, I turned it on and then it was like, boom, loud. And I was like, ah. If you go down 4 octaves, that doesn't necessarily lower the volume. It just lowers the octave. That's very different. Octaves and volume, not the same. Let me see if I can talk and...
Attention, denizens of the Imperial Palace and beyond.
Okay, Was the audio of the guy's voice good? Yeah, I think that is the loudest part. That's why I adjusted it so it wouldn't be as loud, but we still get good volume. Sounds fine? Okay. We'll go back. I don't think we need to do the whole intro. All right. So, the most cursed episode of TTS, or If the Emperor Had a Podcast, by Alphabusa. There was a chance, I can't remember if I saw it or not. People are saying I would remember it if I like watched it on my own time. I don't think I did. I might have watched 10 minutes of it and then I just stopped. So there may be a moment where we have psycher moments that might have been because I watched this earlier, but I really don't remember. So, yeah. We shall begin. Prepare yourselves. Hold on to your butts. And this is gonna be so cursed. This is so cursed. I know a little bit from Remelays, from 40k Theories, and I was appalled.
Attention, denizens of the Imperial Palace and beyond. This Voxcast publique is designated Omega Prioris.
Very cursed.
Continue your operations, but listen at least partly to this very inappropriate announcement. Thought for the day. You have to be 18 standard or older to listen to this.
Yes. Yeah. You need to be an adult. The contents of this and what I know, it is adult. Okay?
Anything else is unsuitable and heresy.
Yes. Protect your innocent minds, and I mean that seriously. Okay, yeah, I definitely didn't watch this because I do not recognize this this setup here.
This was not the kind of break I,
Dumpy Grimbo.
Yes.
Hi. Hi. I am Manclesiarch Decius the 23rd. I have been brought onto this Voxcast to...
No one knows what to say. It's
well,
so
this
cursed.
record goes by the name Inquisitor, written by illustrious scribe Ian Watson.
Infamous is a better way to put it.
Author of the screen story for Steve Spielman's AI.
It is the oldest non-anthology record found in the library. Its age surpasses even that of records covering the Horus Heresy. It indeed seems to be even older than the library itself.
This tome was found in several different publications, with its alternative title being Draco by Ian Watson, author of the screen story for Steve Spellman's AI.
It is the first part of the Inquisition War trilogy by Ian Watson, author of the screen for Stephen's Abominable Intelligence.
Thank you.
It's also been found by me under the names the Philosopher's Stone and the Sausager's Stone by Ian Watson, author of the Harry Spielberg.
Okay, I was like, wait a second. Wait a second. That doesn't feel right.
Series.
It is a book by Ian Watson, author of the screen story for Steph Spellborg's AI.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna stop. Get to the point.
I have never read this book. I do not know why, but now I have, and my life has forever changed.
You know...
This book...
No! Boy has been corrupted! Boy has been corrupted! No, he can't. It's awakened things in him. Please, no, keep Boy pure and innocent.
Has awakened things in me. Terrible things.
Oh boy.
I yet see them through my empty eye.
This book was a mistake.
Rippling Minotaur abs.
Okay. Sorry, I have to laugh at this. We're not going to get into it too much, but I saw a video recently, and have you guys heard about the most recent smut book that women have been reading? I've not read it, nor do I want to, because it sounds absolutely terrible. But it involves minotaurs. Look it up on your own time. It's called Morning Glory Milk Farm, and it's all sorts of messed up and stupid. From what I've heard, it sounds absolutely terrible, but the fact that they're like minotaur abs, yeah, you don't want to know. I got a synopsis of that book, and I was like, good night. Yes, shoe on head. Honestly, it was a very good video. I thought it was very funny. Anyways, Minotaur abs made me think of that. No, Bao would read something that has like a wolf man in it. More likely to be a wolf man than a cow man. Anyways. It's certainly a book. Let's just leave it at that. Sorry.
I am sorry, boy.
Oh, you see things that aren't there through an eye you no longer have, too?
This book is a cold, wet towel wrapped around the midriff of my mind. It drenches us with its lurid text, the text that is the water dribbling from the frigid towel that is this book, soaking us until one can do naught but become united with one's uncomfort.
I kind of want to read this.
Yes.
I want to see it with my own eyes.
Literally how the book is written throughout. It is like sour magic.
Yes, magic. Living chocolate amphibians, a ridiculous prospect.
To be wholly transparent, however,
So he read the Harry Potter books. We're gonna keep that in mind. He read the wrong book.
Personally, kind of enjoyed is perhaps a bit strong, but liked this book. It was wacky, uproarious, and quite the ride.
But you are wrong, King of Nipples. This book proves beyond doubt why the normals have to be eradicated, you see.
What did you just fucking call me?
Throughout the reading of this, we discovered that this writer has, incidentally, also penned a record filed under the name of Orgasm Machine.
What?
We have not had the distinct pleasure of reading that one.
I'm not making a VOD for this. I'm not making a VOD for this. This is just gonna only be on the live stream. I definitely did not watch this. Oh no. It was censored, but that's not gonna stop YouTube. YouTube has done worse things.
But based on our findings, reading Inquisitor, Ian Watson also writing a book called Orgasm Machine. Makes a lot of sense.
My Emperor!
Really? Hang on. Really? No, I don't want to look that up on my... No, I was going to look it up on my phone, and no, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Please join me in my crusade to kink shame Ian Watson back to the Eye of Terror.
Yeah, please.
Tell us of your opinion.
Numerous times, this record tries to insinuate that I am little more than an raving skeleton upon a golden toilet. Therefore I hid it, and it needs to go.
Fair.
You've insinuated such things about yourself on numerous occasions, Father.
It's different when he does it, though.
Nobody riff on me but me.
Yes.
He's right, you know.
Yes.
That's mighty petulant, Father.
Is there anything of value to be gleaned from this foul text, my lord?
I believe there to be some erudite knowledge intermingled with the layers of rancid fluff that thickens this book. It would, however, be hard for anyone to coerce this knowledge on a single read. It is style over substance given form.
In what manner should we go about covering the contents of this record?
There is only one way. We must cover each chapter.
Oh no.
One. By
No, that's why it's an hour and a half long. Oh gosh.
because
Quote, Stanley Kubrick, legendary Hollywood directographist, in conversation with Ian Watson, author of the screen story for Steve Spielman's up-and-coming project, A.
So, strangely, I sent you a pre-publication copy of my new book Inquisitor that I have written. Please tell me what you think of it.
Who knows you? Maybe this is my next movie. Who knows you? Maybe this is my
Please
next
no.
movie. Maybe this is my next movie.
Stop.
Maybe this is my next movie. Next movie.
Please stop. Stop.
Next
Stop.
let us begin.
Please.
Inquisitor. Pre-prologue.
Wait, there's a
This
pre-prologue?
book begins with a pre-prologue, as so many
gosh.
books of legend do. It first needs pointing out that there are many minor differences between the record named Inquisitor and the one named Draco. Draco is the name of the Inquisitor we follow throughout this epic, and I figure the name change was a result of the Inquisition not wanting Jacques Draco and his base love quest associated with the Inquisition as a brand.
It appears as though
Yes.
Draco is a newer version of the same book,
Oh, yes.
but with some changes to certain elements and descriptors.
Like what?
Possibly in an effort to cover up unwanted information, as is the Inquisition's wont.
Morbidly accurate, Ecclesiarch.
Man, Ecclesiarch, please.
Ecclesiarch?
Well, the pre-prologue of Draco does make this clear with a note that reads, and my condolences in beforehand, for it is quite long. My Lord High Inquisitor, I have now examined this particular archive as you requested of me. I can state that the text does truly date from a time around 1200 years before the present day. However, in the absence of a true physical copy of the work, dating a record that exists only as a data file upon our cogitator with any real precision is beyond the abilities of even my most skilled tech priests. As to its content, there is little to tell. I have been unable to acquire any evidence of the existence of an Inquisitor of our order by the name of Jacques Draco.
Because they killed him. They took him out back. And they killed him. If he did exist, they took him out.
Indeed, my researchers have led me to believe that none of the orders have any record of such a personage. However, I have not been permitted access to their most hidden archives, and I cannot therefore offer a definitive answer as to his non-existence. Of his outlandish companions, I have more mixed feelings. The work itself states that the Calidus Temple acknowledges the presence upon its roll of infamy as such named assassin. Yet in all my years, I have never heard of such a request for information producing such an unequivocal result. The secretive leaders of the assassin shrines openly would even acknowledge any such query from those outside their order is, frankly, unbelievable. The navigator.
This would help if I had context
we know
for
of all
the book.
The scorn with which our brothers in the navies nobilite regard outside inquiries. As to the abhuman, the thread is cut. The accursed hive fleet of the Tyrannid put paid to that line too long ago. I cannot believe, however, that even the renegade Inquisitor, if that is what this Draco really was, would tolerate the presence of such a disgusting mutation. Lord, I understand full well that my role is to examine the facts as they are presented, to report upon the technical aspects of this archive alone. But I must confess to you now, I am sorely troubled. I have been serving you in my capacity as Master Librarian for 2 centuries now, but never have you asked me to report upon such a tangled morass of bare half-truths and inferences. If even a fragment of what this memoir purports to reveal is truthful, it implies a conspiracy of the most mind-warping complexity. Yet where is the evidence? Without it, this work can be nothing but a blasphemous heresy, a traitorous farrago of the most evil kind. This work would be better destroyed than be recorded in any form, lest it one day be revealed to cause who knows what damage to the minds of scholars less skeptical than ourselves.
Oh my gosh,
I implore you, Lord, let me erase this heresy. May the Golden Throne watch over you.
Who knows you? Maybe this is my next move.
Stop playing this.
This inquisitorial droning was no doubt added after the record was, somehow, discovered by the rest of the Inquisition.
The conclusion of their review of this book is eerily similar to mine.
I have to say, though, Uncle Vernon was a dutiful man. His loyalty to the Imperium was commendable. His son's death to the bearish albumin was tragic.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember
looking at the epilogue of the pre-prologue, I liked when they had to specify that the squats are all dead simply because a squat appeared in the record as one of Inquisitor Draco's followers. Oh, if you don't happen to know, dear listeners, the squats were a strain of...
Oh, well, they've changed it since then. Okay.
Very short and, well, squat abhumans that lived here in the galaxy at some point. Don't quite recall when.
They were basically bicurd motors from space.
Oh right, they died to Tyrannid invasion. Eaten.
So many corpses.
Here I a bunch.
Then the Tyrannids evolved the ability to be short. Hey.
I have to say, I am surprised the mutant-loathing Inquisition didn't just straight-up censor the squat's identity and replace it with...
This has been changed since then.
Say, that of a tech priest or something. I feel like I've seen that done somewhere else, but not in any of these publications. Regardless, more squad formation will be unearthed in the reading. Let us go!
Yeah, please.
Inquisitor. Prologue.
The prologue begins with another warning.
Befitting of this book.
Unlike the former, this warning is also plastered onto the original version.
It explains that this record is the Liber Secretorum, or the Book of Secrets of Jock Draco,
That's so
the
edgy.
renegade Inquisitor, the individual whom we follow through
It's
this
like
record.
edgy and cringy, like a 14-year-old's like diary.
What would a Liber Secretorum be?
By asking that question, you have confirmed it works as intended.
Yeah.
Perhaps each Inquisitor keeps their own horrid little diary.
How else do you comprehend the horrors of the universe?
If this book is, in actuality, a weapon designed to sabotage faith and duty, which, yes, that makes sense.
We have the galaxy-spanning ecclesiarchy on one side, preaching from a holy book written by a very heretical brother, Lorgar. Then, on the other side, you've got a book of very niche fetish pornography, which is being treated by the Inquisition as the most heretical thing known to man.
Good thing priorities are in place.
We did stop preaching from that book, my lord.
Have you
really?
Oh.
Actively trying to. We are actively trying to.
My one eye may be blind, but the black pit still sits. It sees shadows, beings past our reality, and the book has enlightened me as to their true nature.
I have changed my mind. This fetish pornography is definitely worse.
Yeah.
Tentacles.
No.
Did they tell you to burn things?
A rank amongst the Inquisition's dedicated demon hunting division is also mentioned, known as Hidden Masters. This is very incongruous, especially given that Jack Draco is a member of the Ordo Malleus, which is as fucking subtle as the namesake implies.
And after this, the actual prologue begins.
A good book starts with one prologue. The adventure of a lifetime starts off with at least 3.
It finally introduces Jack Draco, who's writing in first person here. He is, and I quote, a secret Inquisitor of the Ordo Malleus.
Not so secret anymore.
Secret Inquisitor is practically an oxymoron, Ian Watson.
Secret Inquisitor Jack Draco starts hyping up his secret adventure by spoiling the key events in the book.
Oh.
He says he has gone to both the Eye of Terror far in the galactic north and the Emperor's very throne room.
I didn't know that one.
Secret. Then he briefly humble brags about having done those things, even while considered an impossibility by the masses. One man could not possibly have gone on such a journey, yet here he is.
He goes on to claim Inquisitors are seekers of truth, which is true.
Okay, yeah.
Except when it's not.
Yeah.
Which is always.
They may seek the truth, but when they found the truth, they tend to cover up the truth with heresy.
They do discover the truth, but then they're like, that's too inconvenient. That's heresy.
Blankets and then pretend like the truth is the not truth.
What?
Truth.
Yes.
And now, a metaphor for your consideration by Ian Watson. Possession of a secret is no blessing, no hidden jewel. Rather, it is akin to a poisoned toad lurking inside a gem-encrusted box.
Oh, bravo!
What?
Beautiful.
Toads.
You may expect this sort of analogy to be but a one-off. It is not.
It's not. That's such a bad analogy. Because yes, I have jewel-encrusted boxes that I keep poison frogs in. Naturally.
Secret Inquisitor Jack Draco then starts telling this story in third person, likely for dramatics. It will become obvious as we continue why that possibly could be.
His reasoning is actually as follows. Though no demon I feel in my bones that it might prove inauspicious to utter my own name overmuch in my own voice, lest I somehow be summoned and bound by hostile human forces.
What?
Therefore, I shall become he. I, Jacques Draco, will tell the story of Jacques Draco's experiences to this data cube
But
in the
you're
hopes that the Master
biased.
of the Malleus, or of the Inquisition, may authenticate the truth of what I report and determine to take action. In that event, you, whoever you are, wherever you are, wherever, whenever, may be scanning these words as part of a briefing poised on the brink of a deadly mission. I hail you, fellow Inquisitor, Marine Commander, Hidden Master, whomever. You see, this is probably one of the worst things you could listen to before undertaking an assignment as he suggests, mostly because the grammar requires you to read it 2 or 3 times.
Hail, Draco, I am your Emperor. Allow me to reiterate what you have just said. Your reason for writing in third person from here on out is, in fact, not because you wrote the contents of the book in before you wrote this disclaimer. It is instead because you are avoiding having your newly disgusted comrades run their way into your love quest engine and to bind you down. I completely understand this was the same logic that drove me to not tell my Primarchs about my Webway project.
I hate everything you just said and I will ignore it. Right, so I particularly like the implication that he is invoking the true name clause as though he were a demon.
Yeah.
Similar to the name he provides as an example, Flygzlzale.
Oh.
Where am I?
Oh my lord!
Fuck off.
Shit, a giant skeleton! Oh, horse lord!
No demons in the throne room, Magnus.
No promises are made.
So, hey, I am unsure why the secret Inquisitor in question, Draco, appears unusually far into the record. Also, his one defining characteristic is to act like a shitty little snake child. Just like a boy.
Eat the death porridge, sir.
Shut it, Snop.
Moving on.
I'll
Draco
forget
begins
for a second,
describing
like, wait,
his
what are you talking
companion.
about?
There are 3. The first is the previously mentioned squat, who goes by the name of Grim.
Oh, great
Dumpy
name.
Grimbo.
The second companion is a navigator named Vitaly Google, who apparently looks very old, but is only about 30. A bit par for the course there, I suppose.
Yeah, that makes sense
The
to me.
last one is a Calidus assassin, of all things, who plays the role of Draco's mistress.
This is the first of many signs that this book is going to fuckland and never returning.
And her name is Melindy.
Quite a gaggle of misfits.
Yes, I'd imagine from the outset that this looks to be a fun adventure
You seen those
filled with
assassins?
peril
Those bodysuits, they leave nothing to the imagination.
and entertainment and clowns.
Halt, brother. If we were to quip about this book every time we find something objectionable, we would remain in this chamber until next week.
Yes.
The boy will starve.
Worry no. I can just drink my own blood.
No.
I would like to add that he is not speaking in hyperbole. I can determine that we would actually be in here for an entire week.
I guess we should just keep it to a minimum then.
Yeah, well, that's the end of the 20th and final prologue anyhow, so, yeah, moving on to the first chapter.
Inquisitor, Chapter 1.
Thank you. The chapter opens up on the planet of Stalinvast, in a hive city known as Vasilaryov, amidst a vast and ever-encroaching junglescape.
The Hive City keeps the jungle from getting any closer to the walls by shooting it with a number of gun turrets. This being a very effective use of time, energy, and resources, rather than using a series of defoliants instead.
Perhaps they have more ammo than they do Weed Killer. Isn't the Hive City in question a manufactorum as well?
Yes, they also use the jungle as target practice for their weapons testing.
Oh.
It then goes on to
Okay.
describe a group of robotic warriors who are also being constructed and tested.
This is strange. All robots in the 42nd millennium are considered archaeotech. It is considered impossible to construct new ones, unless this world happens to have found an incredibly rare STC and never shared it with the rest of the Imperium.
What an absolute fucking shame, if that is the case.
Oh, after that comes an absolutely stellar description of the High City's towers, being large Cora-like towers with rose red, scarlet, purple, pink colors.
Is that like from the book? Rose, red, scarlet, purple, pink. Rose, red, and scarlet. Acceptable. They're all shades of red. Rose, you could argue, is a little more pink, but purple pink. It's exactly from the book, of course. Wait, you read the book? You read this accursed book. That's suspicious. Anyways, we should continue.
It then goes on to describe a series of suburban structures which are likened to a fungal dinner plate.
Not very appropriate colors for a hive city.
It's all the colors of the war.
Yeah.
Hogwarts truly is a disgusting locale.
Lies.
There are also space marine vehicles being produced here, as well as space marines going through harrowing jungle exercises.
Okay.
And it then swiftly moves on to describe what appears to be a gene stealer infestation that is rapidly eradicating everything in the Hive City.
Oh, we're just...
That is as rapid a tonal shift as I've
Yeah.
ever heard.
There's finally some interactions between the four primary figures that we shall follow for the remainder of the record.
Secret Inquisitor Draco has the hots for the Calidus assassin.
Everyone has the hogs for the Calidus.
I mean,
assassin.
yes, boy, you are correct.
Don't really think they become an item, though. I think Draco and the girl end up hating each other due to psychic chauvinism.
I think you might be skipping ahead somewhat.
Draco talks for a bit about the assassin, Melindy, about where she's from, namely, the planet Calidus.
I must remind everyone that Calidus is not a fucking planet.
Yeah, I was
Indeed, my lord, it is a temple.
gonna
Yes,
say.
yes, and how she's dressed in a very thin toga and wearing, pointed elder-like shoes.
Pointy shoes.
Clown shoes, no, of course.
I mean, the party is intentionally disguised as a rogue trader and his entourage, so it makes sense.
Clown shoes never make sense in any context, and I will not have you debate this. Anyway,
You would be verbally murdered.
anyway, Draco is on the planet to oversee a not-secret Inquisitor, one Hawk Abyspal, as well as the quelling of a Gene-Stealer uprising. Apparently, nobody bothered to tell him that Gene-Stealers are not Koa's demons, as he seems to think they are.
In his defense, I am fairly certain that most people were unaware that Gene Stealers were Tyranids, until recently.
It's fair, since the Gene Stealers came long before the Tyranids arrived in the galaxy. The Tyranids' morbid answer to a vanguard.
Oh boy, here he comes!
Boy, close your ears.
Oh no. Is it...
There is then an overly long description of Melindy getting naked, taking polymorphin, coating herself in synskin from a spray can, and leaping into some ductworks. While this happened, the lads are openly staring at her supple form as she crams herself into a ventilation shaft.
Polyjuice potion is a hell of a drug, kids.
I'm not gonna say that, never mind.
The purpose of this action is to continue to oversee the battle between the Planetary Defense Force and the Gene Stealer incursion. In the scene prior to this, Jock utilizes some sort of, Jokero technology.
Fucking techno-monkey tech.
There are these little flying drones that are almost invisible to the naked eye, with which he uses to investigate the battle as it unfolds.
As you know, using an undetectable means of subterfuge and investigation is the lesser of the two options, when your other option is to send out a large, pleather-bound woman who has to crawl through ductwork and kill people to remain undetected.
But she needs to help kill the aliens, or they'll steal their genes.
Wizards don't wear
genes, shut up, boy!
Oh, and that covers Chapter 1.
Inquisitor, Chapter 2.
In Chapter 2, we take a break from the horny escapades of Jack Draco to behold things from Hawk Abyspal's perspective. It is equally as morbid. I am pretty sure he quotes an ancient bad text by the name of my cap or something. And if any of you out there are familiar, you will know why this sucks, and will understand why corporate cleanups of the Inquisition are justified.
Yeah, after this, Abyspal and his troops proceed to cull the Gene Stealers. This scene continues on for a bit, not going anywhere in particular, until we cut again back to Draco's hotel room.
Right.
Draco appears to be musing on the warp for some reason. He's also doubting his
what?
hardness.
Oh, okay.
Quite literally, he wonders if he's truly hard enough to handle tasks like the one now before him.
They got me
The
there.
way this man doubts his capability to do his job is really telling of the Inquisition's hiring practices.
I thought.
I mean, it would be if he were.
They got me. They made me think that they were talking about something else and not whether or not he was capable enough to do his job.
And somehow super competent regardless.
Then we get a fun description of Grim the Squat's home life and how his strain of humanity lives. This proceeds to be sharply contrasted by the next scene in which Melindy transforms into a Gene Stealer but not via polymorphin, and how she then proceeds.
Okay. I thought there was a chance that I was like, oh, maybe I heard wrong. Nope. She is a Gene Stealer. Hi, Lore Master of Sotek. Cover your ears or just leave the stream. This is cursed lore. You don't want to be here for this. Hi.
Through the ductworks to get closer to Abyspal's position. And then we shoot back to the hotel again, where Grimm's preparing to head out and assist Melindy, who is now a Gene Stealer.
After this, there is a bothersome discrepancy regarding the assassin highlighted. She is an initiate, and yet she is actively utilizing advanced Jock Arrow tech. That is to say, extremely rare and complicated alien technology, just here, in the hands of a self-professed initiate.
Father, could it be that she is just that good?
Shut your noise, holy you cockatoo.
Melindy finally reaches Abyspal and saves him from a Gene Stealer that was sneaking up behind him. She then deftly climbs back into the ducts where she belongs.
Meanwhile, though, in another location, the squat known as Grimbo is riding on a power trike, specifically so that he may rapidly collect Melindy and return to the hotel room.
All the while,
I need to
Draco
know
lives on
more about
using
this
his
power
alien spy
trike.
technology, and the writer takes no time in admitting that Draco wants to have sexual relations with the Calidus assassin while she is disguised as a gene stealer. I wish death for myself.
Should we judge him for what he likes?
Yes.
Boy. Yes.
Yes.
You were this close to the window, boy, I swear.
Finish the chapter, please.
No, we're finished. That's basically chapter 2.
Inquisitor, chapter 3.
Yes. Grimm continues his trek through the streets and side passages of the Hive City on his power trike and notices several things. Bodies standing upright, killed in these massive street-choking crowds of people, all of them bashing into each other, trying to evacuate. Watson continues describing scenes like this for at least 2 pages.
Oh my gosh.
I shall not.
Good, there's enough Grimm here for all of us.
Not the laugh track. I'm
He
sorry.
collects Melindy and takes her back to the hotel.
Oh, no.
His power trike. In the hotel, everyone ogles her new form. For some reason, Doc
Everyone
Draco
is
then proceeds to have
heretical.
an internal monologue on
Oh no.
how he
Oh
really wants some of that gene stealer. That is a statement I will not repeat and already regret having said.
Don't
Move
say
on,
that.
swiftly!
Moving on, there's not much more to this chapter. They talk on how polymorphin works to an extent. They talk about Melindy requires a lot of food to transform back due to the calories required to transform in the first place.
Draco orders a sumptuous feast for everyone, while Grimm appears to be less than enthused. He muses that there are millions dead.
And here I'm. I mean, that's fair. That's completely
And that
fair.
although the Gene Stealers are losing this fight, that fact is but sugar on the porridge of death. This is the
Sugar on the porridge of death. I've never heard that before, but it's so dumb.
These assholes then have the gall to point out that I have no way of experiencing pleasure at all. Which, while true, is very rude.
Aren't they eating fried chicken while talking to each other?
That's weird.
For fried ostrich, my family can barely afford grilled carps cakes.
These wizards are truly living a life of unrivaled opulence. Well, unrivaled as compared to an average hiver anyway. The amount of nuts, sickles, and galleons these guys are slinging around is ridiculous. It's like they're eating a succulent leg of bird in front of an audience of paupers.
Please stop. Very hungry.
Yes, I
shall
can
get
relate.
you a large, non-corpse sandwich when we are done, boy. Provided you behave yourself and cover your ears when
Yes,
appropriate.
yes.
I recall this being the end of chapter 3.
Yes, you are correct, my lord.
Inquisitor, chapter 4.
Ooh, chapter 4 starts off with Hawk Obispal, oh no, being hailed as a hero for quelling the incursion.
Annihilating a gene stealer cult is apparently easy enough a feat that it can
Wow.
be done in a day or two.
If you can get rid of a gene stealer cult in a day or two, you haven't gotten rid of it. That's facts.
Then fanfare, a glorious celebration is held wherein people are dressed up with lizard heads because...
Gene stealer?
Oh no. That's just a Stalinvest cultural thing, I guess.
Weird.
But in the meantime, Draco broods in his hotel room claiming that the conflict is not yet resolved. His psychic abilities are telling him that there is further amiss with Stalinvest.
As any Inquisitor will tell you, there is rarely any reason to assume that that evil is truly
Yes.
vanquished. Obispal therefore strikes one as a proper jackass, concluding his investigation without making sure all is truly well.
Okay.
Father.
Lorgar.
Shut the fuck up, you two gremlins.
That's pretty great.
As he sits in his hotel room, Draco proceeds to pull out a leather container made from the flesh of a mutant.
Oh.
Just like my book.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Then he retrieves from it the Emperor's Tarot.
For the uninitiated,
Tarot.
the Emperor's
I can't.
Tarot is a deck of psychicleatune crystal wafers that psychers may use in conjunction with the shattered parts of my great psyche to predict future events. It's not exactly accurate all the time,
Not
but it
always.
gets close, and that is what matters.
My other dad, Zinch, is a lot better at that.
You need to stop inviting Coas boys onto this Voxcast.
Yeah. Anyway, he uses the Terror to divine some information with regards to his mission and Stalinvast as a whole, and finds that his prediction is interfered with by a man who looks like Eldar Harlequin.
Oh no, not the clowns.
He also divines on one of the cards as an image of Mehelindi, which I assume gives him a raging hard-on.
Boy, stop quoting him. It is forbidden.
Hey boy, perhaps you should become a custodian. You are still young enough to be torn apart and reconstructed by the alchemists.
I will risk a window to have your bulbous frame thrown out of here.
Oh.
Wait, how are you even holding that shotgun?
I will make an
I was
attempt
looking
to
at his
scurry this
hands.
along. So, after looking at his Manpura cards, Draco then muses on the assassin, which is then immediately interrupted by Melindy herself,
What?
reappearing, no longer in the ducts, where she honestly still belongs.
She gotta stay in
they
the
talk for a
ducts.
short time about the mission at hand, as well as the mysterious Harlequin man. She then talks to him
Oh
about...
no, oh no.
Okay, yeah, you take this one.
An infamous assassin by the name of Mother Gullet who used her polymorphine to swallow a planetary governor's infant
What?
son. What bearing this has on the story is beyond me. But
I was gonna say, how did that come up? How does that come up? How does that come up? Like, I'm sorry. What?
is interesting.
What she babbled?
Yeah, one moment, boy.
Babies are small, but they're not
She
small like
apparently
that.
ate the child in order to use it as leverage against the planetary governor
wait.
who was being unruly.
It's obviously written as a lesson to all unruly children out there that if you act the renegade, an assassin will come to your house and devour you. Remember that well, boy. The next time you ask ridiculous questions might be your last.
She used him as leverage, but if she swallowed him, he's like pretty much dead.
Silence! Your continued harassment of the boy will yield you the same fate as that Tempris you are so fond of throwing out the window.
Bold of you to assume you could grab a hold of my unctuous form in the first place.
Are we done with this chapter
Not
yet?
quite yet, my master. Jock goes on an inner monologue, talking about his time as a young man on a distant planet, his home planet, where he first learned to be an Inquisitor in, like, Inquisitor kindergarten or something. He professes that he was a child genius, and that he quickly excelled in his studies, and with that information fresh in our brain, that is the end of chapter 4.
I don't know if I believe that.
Genius.
Inquisitor, Chapter 5.
Chapter 5. In this chapter, the team departs from the hive city of Vasilariov to another nearby hive city known as Kefalov, where Draco seems to think there is a sizable Coas presence.
He detected it after meddling with the Emperor's turret. And, oh boy, while in transit from one hive to the other, Draco monologues internally once more. He's
This
now
is
reminiscing
so
about
funny.
a close call he had as a youngling, being stuck on a black ship bound for Terra. In case you are unaware, listener, the black ships are part of a fleet intended to collect and transport psychers from all across the galaxy, shipping them to Terra. Draco has been picked up by one of these ships and was to be sacrificed to this here skeleton.
Only I am allowed to call me that.
I'm a rebel, what can I say? It is through this vignette that we learned he was romantically interested in a young psycho girl around his age. Aww. And that by being spared from his fate to be sacrificed, he was unable to be with her. He uses this as a flimsy excuse as to why he's sexually repressed in this record, taking its every chance to talk about every person's desire for the sex.
That I mean, rip to that girl. Like, that sucks, but that does not justify your actions.
Because Ian Watson is a free spirit, not bound by what makes a book good in the conventional sense, only focusing on what he himself wants to write about.
Yeah.
And isn't there something quite liberating in that kind of mindset?
No! Not when you're recording an Inquisitor's investigation into a potential coerce incursion, one of the biggest threats known to man! This is not relevant information!
Do not listen to him, Ian Watson, or any other would-be scribe out there. Follow your heart, not a formula.
Stop! We require no more sewer goblins, right?
I agree with Wamoody's here. Don't. If you want to be a writer of any substance, you can't just follow your heart.
About their arcane sexual afflictions.
Yes, we do.
No.
Learn to write.
What have you done, Magnus?
Inquisitor Leech Person will have his day in the sun.
Shut up, boy. No one.
My recommendation, if you're gonna write a book, first, probably don't do a self-insert. But if you do a self-insert, make it tasteful. Okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Because there are books out there that obviously you can tell they're self-inserts and da-da-da-da. But if you're gonna do that, like, first off, try to avoid it. Try to avoid it as much as you can. But if you're gonna do it, be tasteful. Okay? Yes, get an editor.
Who can read.
And here's the thing, this went through an editor, and an editor said this was okay. I don't know how this happened.
Would want to read that, and I can read, and I can tell you that no one would want to read that. So there.
No,
well, this is
not, don't make, I'm not saying make it tasteful like Ian Watson, no.
Escalating out of hand, so listen, please. Draco and company arrive in the second hive city and begin to make their way to its underbelly, as that is where the ruinous energies are coming from. While investigating, they come across a number of ruinous tentacles intertwined with the streets of the Underhive. They go ahead and start cutting into them with various weapons. The record utilizes flowery language and purple prose to describe how they go about this, almost to the point that it's completely unnecessary. No, not even to the point. It's completely unnecessary. They are certain that this mass of tentacles is the source of the energy.
Oh no.
Nevertheless, Draco and the gang now meet with the clown man himself, Cephro Carnelian, for the first time being thoroughly introduced to him as the reason why these psychic tentacles, the origins of the psychic energies, the so-called Hydra, is on the planet. Draco then starts shooting with his plasma gun.
Yes, thank you, Alexander. That is the most perfect example. Self-insert like Tolkien, who made himself a silly little guy, his wife the prettiest woman in the world, and his best friend a tree person who never gets the point. Yes. See, that's tasteful, not self-aggrandizing, and frankly weird. If you want to do a self-insert, play Dungeons & Dragons, play a role-playing game. Do that. And then write a book based off that. But, like, man.
Makes a fucking awful statement that goes, "Blessed are the ignorant, unless they are Inquisitors," which, while being a true statement, is just so strangely put when referring to coerce.
I believe this is the site of another discrepancy, as my book had no mention of a combat spell being used. If anything, it's likely they moved the tentacles rather than cutting them in my copy. That, and apparently he and his compatriots used a sort of catalyst to channel their psychic energy. This catalyst being about the size of a twig?
Yes, and then the chapter ends with the assassin chasing after the Harlequin man. What a cliffhanger.
Why does everyone keep saying that?
Cliffhanger.
Inquisitor, Chapter 6.
Who knows yet? Maybe this is my next movie.
Yeah, okay, this chapter has the assassin going through a literal assault on the mind of the grisly carnal variety.
Oh no.
By a clown man with a psychic tentacle spawn. That might sound mildly amusing, but no, it's just in poor taste, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Very poignant, poor child.
Oh.
Moving forward.
Ian Watson, why do you do this?
The chapter then goes on to be even worse by having the assassin say that she wants to perform exemplary suicide for having had her honor besmirched, and then, after some frankly weird attempts at consoling her, Draco goes on an internal tangent about how he's lonely and sexually repressed.
Oh gosh, at least it wasn't an external tangent. Like, imagine trying to comfort a chick and then you're like, oh, by the way, I'm actually like really repressed. Oh. No. Oh. Okay.
And that he wants to fulfill his love quest. Ian Watson, sewer goblin extraordinaire.
Okay, rub the garbage in all you want, but you're forgetting to mention that Draco, Melindy, and Grimm returned to the hotel room to find it broken into. Inside, the navigator, Vitaly Google, lies tied up with a leather bag over his head face.
Why not
reveals
just...
to the gang that some mysterious assailants had broken into the hotel room, tied up and stolen all of Draco's Jokero tech spy gear,
Well, why not just
including
kill
all of
him?
the spy flies. This has given the Harlequin man an upper hand, for he can now see Draco wherever he goes. Ooh.
It also apparently needed specifying that Google had shit himself whilst lying tied up in wait for rescue, and that Grimbo the squat released him, cleaned him up, and then gave him a...
What the... No, if that happens, I'm cleaning myself up. That's so messed up. Oh my gosh, okay.
Massage.
We gotta keep powering through.
That squat sure is tender.
Alright, that is it. End of chapter.
Inquisitor, Chapter 7.
Allow me to summarize the small amount of actual progression we had in the last chapters very quickly. The party encountered the Harlequin man, Zephyro Carnelian, who used ways to get information out of the assassin Melindy. The Harlequin man goes on to explain that the chaotic presence in the Underhive is a warp beast called a Hydra. He then chases off the party, and they are forced to seek the planetary governor's astropath.
Yes, in Chapter 7, we are given a very descriptive view of the planetary governor's penthouse. The planetary governor is apparently a mutant, which would be a shocking twist if it weren't for the scantily clad girls with eyes twice the size of normal human eyes.
So an anime girl. Sorry, I just read the next line. I was going to talk about the anime girls, because anime usually has very large eyes compared to, like, you know, regular humans. Me being an example, I'm gonna back up.
A mutant, which would be a shocking twist if it weren't for the scantily clad girls with eyes twice the size of normal human eyes having the sex with him in the other room as Draco enters.
This is the literary equivalent of seasoning a lemon with a lime in an effort to make it more sour. You just can't really get more sour than what you started with.
After this, they simply have a talk with the governor, which leads them to gaining access to an astropath. This brings us to Chapter 8.
Oh my gosh.
Inquisitor, Chapter 8.
So the planetary governor leads Draco and company to a secluded part of his palace where he introduces them to the astropath, one Mama Pagine, who has a large quantity of small free creatures with her. I believe she refers to them as, well, cats. She seems to identify with cats because they are weird creatures.
Draco dismisses the governor and speaks with the astropath. He informs her that they require her psychic abilities to contact the Imperial Ravagers Space Marine.
See, I don't like that name. Just kind of, you know, the themes we're already experiencing in this book. But you know, it's probably they go after Xeno, right? Like, you know, the aliens and stuff. That's right.
Chapter in order to perform an exterminatus on the planet.
It should be noted that outside of this record, there are no other instances of this chapter being mentioned. Even within our own records of Space Marine chapters, this group is somewhat of a mystery.
Probably White Scar's successors considering their ravaging name.
After the discussion, Draco takes the old woman aboard their ship and begins to depart. On the ship, called the Tormentum Malorum,
Neat name.
there is an interestingly bleak portrayal of you, my most throne-bound master, as a mummified corpse standing in something akin to a miniature temple dedicated to yourself.
In my version, there is a very imposing bas-relief image of me standing triumphantly over fucking Horus.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure if this newer version of the record is trying to suck up to me, but it's nice to not be referred to as a corpse.
Yeah.
Draco then, uncharacteristically for an Inquisitor, changes his mind on the exterminatus.
Oh, I'm
after
proud of
consulting
him.
his remaining drones and learning that the horrid clown cosplayer, Carnelian, has whisked the Hydra away from the Underhive. The evil presence thus removed, the planet is no longer a suitable target for exterminatus, and the order is cancelled.
Okay, cool.
Somehow. They then enter warp drive and depart for a lead on
I guess it depends on how they're going to
the Hydra.
exterminatus
In
it.
transit, the party talks with each other for a while, bantering on squats and their life cycles, and how they could live to be almost 1,000 years old, and that the older they become, the stronger they become psychically.
Interesting if true.
Then, in another extreme tonal whiplash, Mama Pargine reveals to the party that she had sent the exterminatus order anyway, because she had suffered unreasonably
Why
at the
does she
hands of the
get-
governor and his
How
family.
does she have that
Ow, my neck.
authority?
Whoopsie!
A planetary genocide level oopsie.
Yep. And to put icing on this mass murder cake, this astropath is initially extremely pleased that she killed an entire planet and all potential robot warrior STCs that might have existed on it. But then Grim, bless him, astutely reminds her that all her cats were down there too.
Lack of foresight 101. I'm sorry. You fool. I'm sorry. That's just so stupid. That's so stupid. How do you forget that? How do you forget that? I'm sorry. That's like so obvious. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, your cat swirls down there. I don't know what to tell you.
And then she cries a bit.
She's not a good pet owner.
I am in agreement, boy. That is no way to treat a wizard's pet.
And with that cataclysmic event out of the way, we move on to chapter 9.
Inquisitor, chapter 9.
Halfway there. Let's keep a stiff upper lip, my friends.
Oh gosh.
No, this book makes me limp and feeble.
Draco's ship has since dropped out of the warp and arrived at the location they were heading to, a space hulk, or a collection of ruined ship remnants hurled together, floating through the depths of space.
Isn't it an awful idea to traverse a space hulk without proper forces?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is usually the job of Terminators, who have armor necessary for such a dangerous task. The Inquisitor simply intends to enter with some flimsy spacesuits because he is
Cool.
bad.
No, Draco isn't bad, he's good. The best. Whilst approaching the Hulk, they talk amongst themselves about Draco's past inquisitorial work, in which he
Odd.
would slay demons and then have the visages tattooed onto him.
Why
Wow.
would you do that?
That sounds like an excellent role model for the children, tattooing the likenesses of demons on your body.
Boy, do not listen. This is actually a poor example for young minds such as yours.
Okay.
This hulk is the supposed location of Draco's lead, and they go through a brief period of preparing to penetrate the hulk's still active foreskin in order to reach its clogged interior.
Keep that two-way minimum. The writing is enough, as it is.
They make their way inside and are caught in a trap by unseen forces using gun robots?
Which are referred to as gun servitors in my version.
Yes. They fight their way through most of the servitors before being apprehended and overwhelmed. They are then brought into a chamber where a few figures are standing, one of which is the clown freak himself, Cephro Cornelian.
In addition to him, there is also Hark Obispal, the allegedly incompetent Inquisitor, and another figure from Draco's past, one Ball Ferenze. Ball's the leader of these men, who are apparently a secret order of Inquisitors unknown to the Inquisition at large.
The secret Inquisitors.
Ordo Hydra.
As this is revealed, the chapter ends.
Inquisitor.
Well, I'm part of a more, secret organization than you.
Chapter 10.
Chapter 10 is one of the greatest chapters, at least as far as being descriptive is concerned.
It is nice for a change of pace, having a bit of light description instead of an incessant lusting after gene stealer asses.
Hear, hear, my master. In any case, the chapter continues where they left off in 9, and the prime members of the Ordo Hydra begin to explain their goal to Draco, who they trust immediately. They tell Draco that their plan is to utilize the Hydra to unite the Imperium, as the Hydra is a powerful psychic being capable of just such a feat. From there, they intend to use the combined might of the newly unified Imperial Psyche to completely obliterate the warp using your mind, Lord.
Wild is true.
An interesting plan. I can only see one minute issue. It's that this small gaggle of Inquisitors with no oversight are intending on unleashing a warp monster onto the Imperium as a whole, including me, to create a human hive mind all linked by and under the thrall of a great immaterial beast.
That doesn't really seem like a good idea at all, my lord.
Accurate.
I'm surprised you think so. Having a human hive mind sounds like one of your greatest wishes.
I am complaining about the involvement of a warp monster, not the concept of a hive mind.
It's the fact that he's not in control of it. It's some other entity, namely a monster.
Ah, so just replace the giant immaterial squid with the big angry warp skeleton, full stop, and it'll be fine.
I know you are dunking on me, but you are right.
So after they finish, Cornelian explains that this Hydra's abilities had already been tested on Stalinvast.
Oh, what?
And thus they had a starting ground from which they could base their plans on.
Draco then interjects, informing the Harlequin man of one fatal issue. Stalinvast has been wiped out by the astropath Mama Pergine. This information seems to stall Cornelian for a moment, who seems to undergo a number of emotional flashes while he processes the information. Before he draws a last pistol and blasts Mama Pergine, seemingly in despair that an entire planet was annihilated for
honestly,
no good reason.
fair. I can't blame him.
I am now rooting for these Hydra weirdos.
Yep.
They killed an evil old woman who destroyed an entire planet.
Yeah, fair.
And cats!
And that was the end of chapter 10. A short one, but reasonably alright.
Inquisitor. Chapter 11.
Following the execution of the vindictive old lady, Chapter 11 brings in a more relaxed setting. As in, they've moved to a dining room on a space hulk?
The concept of constructing a dining hall aboard a dilapidated congregation of ship's parts is weird.
Weird is a light way of putting it, my lord.
Cornelian briefly explains his reasoning for killing Pergine, and then goes on to extend an invitation to join the Ordo Hydra, so that Draco might assist rather than hinder the Ordo's plans.
Again, having no real reason to trust Draco, since he has been functioning as a secret Inquisitor, incidentally working against their wishes this whole time.
What better way to stop an investigation than to bring the investigator in on the grift?
What better way to disband a horrible cult than to have their leaders bring an opponent into said cult as a high-ranking member just because he seems nice?
Touché?
This trust in Draco is further illustrated by them giving him a small sealed container with a chunk of the Hydra in it.
Oh.
Their intent being that Draco will go out into the Imperium and spread the Hydra. Draco takes this box and leaves with his party in tow for the ship. Aboard the Tormentum Malorum, they begin to wonder what they should do. Grimm being of the opinion that they should simply flee to the furthest reaches of the galaxy and hide amongst the uncharted stars. Google shares in this idea. Draco and Merlindi are on the fence, however, and they go to their quarters to think on the
No, they're not gonna think. They're gonna have sex.
matter. Draco seems to be lost in thought when
And he's gonna be like, I'm so repressed, and I'm so unsure of myself.
Finally, Melinda enters his room.
Boy. Yes.
Yes, sir.
They talk to each other about their concerns
Yep.
and insecurities.
Wow.
Then they begin to have sex.
Whoa! Hold up. That's way different to what's in my
Draco
book.
goes on to describe Melinda's various tattoos, having now seen her supple naked form.
Whoa! Stop! That's wrong.
There's
What?
even a tattoo of a spider upon her unshaven groin, in which Draco begins to...
What the hell? I'm sorry. Wait. Hang on. Wait a second. How? Why? Yeah, we're probably not going to allow many clips of this to go in the Discord. I will be honest here. What? But why? Because then you'd have to in order to get the tattoo, but if it's just, you're gonna let it grow back, why would you even get it? What? Honestly, okay guys, hear me out. If I saw a woman with that tattoo and I was about to do the nasty with her, that's a huge red flag. Like, I'm sorry, that's giving me like Black Widow vibes, where like she's gonna eat me afterwards or something like that. Because on top of that, there's also the thing of like, if you wanted to have a tattoo, like you have to shave that area of your body, like any like, and then it's just you're just gonna let
What?
It is then justified as a hairy spider tattoo, which lends further credence to Ian Watson being a sex pervert. Evidently, it was so good that Draco is exhausted afterwards.
Okay.
His long-standing love quest comes
incredible.
to an end.
They're done now, boy.
I could still see the images in my hollow eye.
No.
Hairy spider tattoo engulfed him.
What?
Those words. Those words should never be said ever again. Oh, that's so freaking weird.
Why does this book curse us so?
Their frustrations and insecurities allayed for the moment, the two then decide to not flee, but to take on the Ordo Hydra. They figure that Carnelian specifically had showed the assassin the abilities of the Hydra in such a horrid way, specifically to show them how total a tyranny was being planned by the Ordo Hydra. Carnelian must thus be a double agent out to manipulate Draco and his gang to fight against it.
It's complicated and
Melindy
stupid.
then goes ahead, uses some polymorphine, and consumes a portion of the Hydra they were given so as to gain immunity to it.
You can do that.
Then they prepare to depart for the Eye of Terror. This ends chapter 11.
Inquisitor, chapter 12.
Picking from where we left off with chapter 11, chapter 12 has us mid-transit to the Eye of Terror.
Just as a reminder, do not go to the Eye of Terror.
Yeah.
That is a bad idea.
They then enter the Eye of Terror in order to find the source of the Hydra so that they might learn of a way to vanquish it. While on the way, they see a large poetic warship which, according to the author, Looks like a crab.
A crab?
While traveling through the initial layer of the eye, they settle down and have a nice dinner.
Oh, as you do, casually.
That's a weird thing I've noticed. Almost every meal they eat is of the highest quality, and they eat them at the most bizarre times. Like tacos on Tuesday.
That's pretty much it. Chapter 12 is kind of inconsequential.
Inquisitor, Chapter 13.
The Tormentum Malorum begins its approach into the Eye of Terror in search for a specific planet. Which planet specifically? I'm not sure. I may have glazed over that information. Sure wasn't the planet of sorcerers at the very least. But they are indeed searching for one planet in particular amongst the countless consumed by the Eye. In any case, they begin their approach to one of the planets, a dark green sorcered world, which
For those
is covered
quick-witted in the audience, this means we are about to descend into the Principality of Gross.
And they land in the foothills outside of a city, which they have great trouble visualizing due to the intense green fog.
I understand the need for urgency, but that really just sounds like an absolutely terrible idea. Let's just land in the fog of war on a planet that has been overtaken by chaotic energies, with no supporting force, no idea what we'll be facing, and only a funny squat to defend ourselves. Tactical genius at its finest.
There could be trolls in those foothills, or weird bald men drinking unicorns.
As they land, they take some time to muddle their void suits somewhat to make them blend in with the local populace, as well as have Mehelindia shapeshift into a gene stealer.
An act which
Casually?
pleases Jacques to no end.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, they depart closer to the city so that they might find some answers as to what the Hydra could be. While traveling, they cross paths with another group, but these beings are cursed with the taint of Coas, as Ian describes gleefully.
Gleefully? What?
Oh boy!
Oh no.
I am now going to read this entire segment where the record proceeds to explain how these horrid creatures look, for no reason. Here we go! A bull of a man, clad in plate mail, led a dozen capering monstrosities out from behind a stalagmite-like tower of rock. Formidable horns curved from the sides of the leader's head, jutting forward, streaked with dried gore. His armor was wrought in the contours of bones. Metallic bones were bent into hoops around his thighs.
Okay.
Bones melded to bones made runic designs. Leering alien skulls capped his knees. Giant toe and finger
Okay, this is his armor. We're just making sure. Okay.
bones encased his boots and gauntlets. An obscene codpiece of artificial bone bulged, encrusted with bloodstones suggestive of ulcers.
Ew!
He also wore a fine satin cape that cut a dash in the breeze, and a golden necklace with an erotic amulet. To Jock's senses, the bullman radiated an eerie, brutal sensuality. His gear seemed to say that even bones could copulate, that even metal could debauch itself, though not in any soft style. Behind the leader trotted an upright tortoise of a man whose squamous head poked out of a barrel-like shell spangled with iridescent stars and crescents, as if he was a walking galaxy or a mad magician. Silk ribbons fluttered like streams of burning gas. Did he ever crawl out of his shell onto some couch at night, tender-bodied, squashy, all of his pleasure nerves exposed to the ministrations of some large, wet tongue? Another warrior wore a
No, I moved my chair all the way back here.
brass waistcoat and leggings glued with some gold braid as if furry caterpillars crawled upon his armor. In place of his left arm, he sported a sheath of tentacles. On his head, an exuberantly ringleted periwig. Yet another, who was visibly hermaphroditic, in plus crystal armor, thrust forth a great lobster claw.
Now, see, that sounds like a Slanesh demon.
Medallions. One thin, tall, small-breasted figure, braced with a clanking baroque exoskeleton, bore the head of a fly, upon which perched a cocked plumed hat. A brass-bound ovipositor jutted from her loins, and
I don't know what that word is, and I'm honestly afraid to look that up. I've never... Oh. Weird. It's not that weird. That term is generally used for, it is, ovipositor is a tubular organ through which a female insect or fish deposits eggs. So it's actually a normal word, but it's just weird here. Let's just put it that way.
neighbor was a striding, slavering, two-legged goat in rut with a starched organdy ruff fanning around his neck, lace ruffled at his elbows, and a velvet cloak. Only one massive man appeared to be true human. He wore a nightmare parody of noble space marine armor, engraved with 100 demon faces, though disdaining a helmet.
Sounds like Lucius.
Great flangled pipes soared sidelong from behind his head, as if copying the bullman's horns in reverse. That head was of statuesque marble nobility, the hair bleached white and permed into waves. At the tip of his aquiline nose, he wore an emerald ring that suggested a drip of mucus. One cheek was tattooed with sword and sheath poised like lingam and yoni. Alongside this traitor marine, there danced a mutant woman
What the
who was
heck? Why are there so many
beautiful and
guys?
hideous. Her body, clad in a chain-mailed leotard trimmed with rosettes and puffs of gauze, was blanched and petite, her hair blonde and voluptuous. Yet her jade-green eyes were swollen ovals, set askew in an otherwise sensual face. Her feet were ostrich claws, ornamented with topaz rings. Her hands were chitinous, painted pincers, a razor-edged tail lashed behind her plump buttocks. How like a demonette of Korath she seemed. Google groaned at the sight of her and took an involuntary step forward. Grim
You can't fix her.
Teeth. And yeah, that's it. I do not need to read anymore. You get it.
That's insane. He explained 6 people that probably don't really matter.
Said Gross, you were probably thinking Nurgle.
No,
nope, it was
I didn't think
Slaanesh
that.
the whole
I didn't
time.
think that at all.
Absolutely disgusting.
It comes as no surprise that we get a painfully accurate depiction of the blight of Koas upon the human form.
Oof.
Do you know, in addition to all the boobular nipple rings, exactly why we got this drawn-out explanation in the first place, when all of these creatures are dismissed as irrelevant?
I was gonna say, he just wanted to write something because he felt like it. He's like, oh man, I wanted to write these characters in, but I couldn't. A
chapter, after the fact, is a question everyone already knows the answer
In
to.
an effort to obfuscate his true purpose on the planet, Jock banters with the Koas townsfolk about things for a while, and taking no time to explain to them that he is having sexual relations with Mehelindi, who might I add, is still disguised as a genius.
He is so proud of himself. What the heck? There's nothing wrong with it, but man, don't go telling everyone. That's awkward.
Oh wait, you have forgotten the best part about her transformation.
Oh, no.
Did you not wish to talk about the fuck pouch that she grew to simulate a vaginal opening as a part of her disguise to these filthy Koas folk?
Is it because she knew Draco was just gonna talk about it and was like, well, I need to make it so that they're like convinced that he actually can?
Who knows? Maybe this is my next movie.
A normal wrote this. And yet I find myself ostracized for wanting to call them.
Honestly, that's
The
fair.
servants of he who shall not be named are wily and disgusting. Truly, Ian Watson understands the subject matter better than we could ever hope to.
I don't ever want to understand cause.
On that, boy, we agree. I mean, shut it.
Suffice to say, the Koaz warriors are only slightly duped by Draco's ploy, and combat ensues. Lovingly rendered combat, I might add, to be entirely fair. It is not bad.
At least he goes to as much detail in describing their wretched bodies being torn asunder as he does in describing the wretched bodies in the first place.
Yes. After dispatching the band of Koaz people, they move closer towards the city on the horizon when they hear a very distant noise, which is explained further in the next chapter.
Inquisitor.
Okay, we're getting closer.
Chapter 14.
Okay.
Alright, so we begin chapter 14 as Draco and his cohorts enter a city.
Horned phallic towers, wrinkled,
No.
ribbed,
Oh.
blistered with window
Oh,
pustules.
ew.
Cancerous breast domes swelled, fondled by scaly finger buttresses. Tongue bridges
No,
linked
this
these
is-
buildings,
this
sliding
is
back and
terrible.
forth.
What the heck?
Scrotum pods swayed. Orifice entries pulsed open and
What?
shut.
No
Some
way.
buildings were in congress
No.
with each other. Headless, limbless torsos laying side by side, joined abominably. An architectonic orgy.
Ian Watson must be a master
I
at
didn't know about
writing
this.
one-handed at this point. I will give him that.
This
I mean, it took me a second. I was like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean he's a master at writing one hand?
This is, of course, one of the other great wizarding schools. I couldn't tell you which, but all you need to know is that Hogwarts is sanctioned, and this is not.
Hogwarts a bust, I guess.
Bust indeed.
See, man.
Draco and friends can hear a noise coming from the city. The
Yeah.
noise, as it is now
No, please, no. It can't be what I think it is.
described, seems to be emanating from a large, vile figure upon a palanquin being pulled by chaos monstrosities.
Ah, that must be Hagar the Horrible, the bear man who tore Uncle Vernon's head from his body.
Around said figure is an entourage of warriors clad in traitor's armor. They are briefly described before... Yeah, bull. The obese woman upon the palanquin is a noble lady of sorts that is shouting for her consort.
Oh no.
Yeah, shouting for him. Bull. He was the bull of a man described earlier.
Oh.
The one with the bones, the bulging bones.
Oh.
As she screams, her voice is so cacophonous that it rings across the boob hills and is audible from impossible distances. Jock and the party proceed to set up an ambush to eliminate her protectors. Then they do that, with relative ease, I might add. Something that really shouldn't be doable on a Koas planet with naught but bolt guns and a psychic weapon.
They're just that good! All the adepts of Slanesh are just that bad.
Very bad. Her escorts thus disposed of, Jacques begins to torture the fiend for information as to what the Hydra is and whether gene stealers are involved.
Oh no, I hope it's
He
not.
gets a bit of information from the thing before she is eliminated from a long distance by none other than Zephyro Carnelian.
who appears to have sniped and killed this monstrosity with only a las pistol.
No, that's not how that works.
This statement is bothersome.
That's not how that
works. A
works.
las pistol does not have a significant enough charge to be fired at long range and be expected to instantly kill a malformed chaos worshipper.
Actually, I didn't parse that my first time through. What?
Yeah, that
Do
doesn't
not
know.
dwell on this. There are far worse things in this record to be dwelling upon.
He's just that good. Haven't you realized this?
Right. Of course. That ends chapter 14.
Inquisitor, chapter 15.
We're almost done with this, I'm glad to say. I need to take an aspirin. About 50 to be precise.
No, don't take that many.
Yeah, same,
That's bad for you.
actually. My head is ringing fiercely. And that's a vicious feat considering my superhuman physique.
Oh, you all shall drink from the manclesical fountain of aspirin after this is finished, but there is not much left to this tale. Carnelian has finally confronted Draco and his party, and he chastises him for betraying the Ordo Hydra.
It is as though the people within this book forget the limitations and abilities of various beings, ideas, and concepts seemingly at will, almost as if they are only paid any attention when they serve the narrative.
But my man, Emperor, this is an account of someone's adventures, not a work of fiction.
Oh, right. Well, forget what I said. Jacques Draco is just a massive weirdo.
Yes. Yes, he is, my master. Carnelian then orders his two compatriots who appear to be armed with heavy bolters to begin to take down Draco and his team. Naturally, Draco and company escaped pretty much unharmed. They then depart on the Tormentum Malorum, seemingly with no plans and no idea how to tackle their newfound problem.
You'd think that a good place to start would be to get past the giant dog that they encountered earlier. It's obviously hiding something crucial to the story.
Sir, I think you may be reading a different story.
Shut it, boy. You have no regard for foreshadowing and obviously have been slacking off in reading our book.
Holding the book upside down, sir.
I knew that. There's a picture in here that's upside down, and I wanted a better look.
That's not the book we were reading.
Huh. It isn't. Shield Captain, what is that book you are reading?
I have seen this book before. This is a fictional account of a wizard from ancient Terran times.
This book was intended for small children during this time, and yet he thought it was an account of a rogue Inquisitor seeking to undo an Imperium-wide conspiracy group. That is extremely funny.
What do you mean? Everything I read was a lie?
Well, yes. It's a fictional story meant to entertain babies. Clearly, it did its job.
I hate you! This is all wrong!
Case is a lie, truth is a lie, as Jacques Draco would put it.
You don't understand! I love
You can keep reading the books, it's okay.
I love
Harry
Ronaldo.
Potter too.
He was a lovable goof who was never afraid to speak his mind. And now he doesn't exist?
Oh no, it's happening again.
It's okay, sir. He still exists in your brain.
It's not the same!
No, it's Ronaldo. Ronaldo.
Wow, he took that hard.
It's just like the time when we were reading him The Giving Tree. I think he's taking it a bit harder because he's the one reading it this time.
The Giving
But hey,
Tree.
fucking nerd, keep going. We need to finish this up with or without him.
Right you are, my master. So, we left off on... that's it. Alright, so chapter 16 is here.
We're almost done.
Inquisitor, chapter 16.
Right, thank you. This chapter seems to meander quite a bit. It starts off with the crew aboard the Tormentum Malorum lamenting their current position in the state of affairs in the Imperium. Jacques is concerned that his crew doesn't trust in his ability to lead them. Grim is despondent and seems to want to drink excessively. Meherlindi shows absolutely almost no emotion. And Google continues on to contribute a bare minimum to justify his existence in life.
He's a navigator. What were you expecting out of the little pervert?
I don't know. I just find his existence redundant. Jacques could have spent this entire time having not even mentioned his name, and I think we would have had about the same idea as to what is going on.
Complain about redundancies later. Read now.
Of course. They spend the chapter visiting the resupply depot and the star system of Bandicoot. It says Bandicoot, I'm sure of it.
Whoa!
You are in need of prescription spectacles, sir. The star system is called Bandicoot.
It's practically the same. Anyway, during this time, Google seemed to dwell on the repulsive fiends from the Coas planet and how he felt aroused by her presence. Meanwhile, Jock muses on his attraction to Melindy in her gene stealer form because, of course, he does.
At least he acknowledges it.
Unfortunately.
No, we would like him to stop acknowledging it, please.
While all this is happening, your boy Grimbo slips from their attention and goes on a drinking binge aboard the station, staying for way too long and almost getting left behind as the Tormentor Malorum was preparing to depart without him.
To think, we almost lost the only redeemable person in this record due to impatience.
As they leave the station, they resolve to find a way to alert the Emperor himself on Holy Terra about the plot. This irrational bag of bones must know of the tentacle monster.
If it were up to me, and I had the ability to take in visitors, who are screened to the point where we can see the DNA of their very pubes, I would...
Ew.
Granted, if I were to know what Jack had been up to prior to this point, I probably would just throw him out the window.
While I wouldn't begrudge you that, my lord, I would prefer to be the one to throw him out.
Can we all throw him out together?
As would I.
Yeah.
If I were strong enough, I would destroy him.
Do not worry, boy. Someday in the future you may grow strong enough to defenestrate foul, depraved, secret Inquisitors.
Yes.
Oh, that is likely the first and only time I shall be warned by boys' childlike wonder. Oh well, while finally en route to Terra, Melindy reveals to Jock a horrifying
She's
truth.
actually a gene stealer.
And for once, it isn't anything utterly depraved. When she was a young trainee for the Calidus Temple, she was given some sort of special thing. Again, not depraved, but it's not very well elaborated on. Regardless, said thing stops her from transforming into anything other than a gene stealer with her polymorphin, and that she is more or less consigned to this singular and specific talent.
That doesn't sound like a very good thing, to be honest.
Nope, but this does end chapter 16. 2 more to go.
Inquisitor, chapter 17.
We smash cut to Jacques inside of a crate on board a transport ship bound for Terra.
That's a bit of a jump there.
Why, yes, straight into the action. You see, Jacques and company have managed to board a black ship now.
Wait, how?
And stuff their bodies into boxes in order to be transported to Terra without worry. Jacques explains to his readers that he has convinced the not-secret Inquisitors aboard the black ship that there is some sort of kidnapping ring that has been stealing the young, psychically imbued children who are to be sacrificed to the Emperor as slaves for various uses.
He appears to imply something very foul here, though.
No.
Sincerely, I hope it is.
Keep the kids out of this.
The not-secret Inquisitor aboard the black ship that is transporting the boxes is described as having alien fetus earrings. I just wanted to mention that. I am sorry, Master, but I must point out how completely asinine it is that this secret Inquisitor is attempting to secret himself onto Terra by lying to the supposedly highest security captains of a black ship and hiding in a box. He is sneaking onto Terra by hiding in a box!
He is attempting to sneak into one of the most heavily defended locations in the entire Imperium by hiding inside of a box. That would be funny, were it not so personally insulting.
Dorn is like,
on it and
hey.
move on, damn it.
If we time skip again to Jacques and his party disembarking from their crates, which appear to be bound for the kitchens in the lower sections of the palace itself. After they sneak out of the kitchen, there is a bizarrely detailed description of a Custodes killing a rat.
Okay.
Oh shit, I think that might have been the shield captain. After this, they disguise themselves as agents of the Administratum using some grey robes. They are let through into a secure area simply by having these robes on. In this portion of the workings beneath the palace, there are signs of heavy machinery being used to power the throne, and there are... Alright, are you with me on this one? 3, 2, 1...
Sodium vapor flambeau behind high false clerestory windows of stained glass, painted patches of amber ichor, sap, and hemoglobin across the tessellated floor.
Okay. I was able to process what was being said there.
For those of you survived this barrage, this large, needlessly descriptive sentence is being used to describe a window,
Yes,
the lamp
I was
behind
gonna
the
say.
window, and the color of the floor.
Stylistic writing?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
This
wait.
goes beyond stylistic. This is not just flowery writing. The sentence is a winding hedge maze of a minute that is indicative of everything ridiculous about Ian Watson's writing style. It took the more illiterate of us 5 whole fuck-mothering minutes to look up the definitions for each of these words in various dictionaries we had on hand. Please, if any of you are thinking of becoming scribes, do not stop and force your readers to drop your book and pick up a dictionary every other chapter just because you need to assert your talent for finding obscure words. And to any intellectual types out there beginning to write an email to us about how it is the sign of a learned man who includes such advanced words and phrases in the text medium, this record is shallow and only artificially deep. It is depraved, uncanny, and most damning of all, boring. This is not a text that is even remotely entertaining or informative due to the way that it is written, the way its story and personages are handled, and even its breakneck pacing. What little entertainment we have derived from this text is obtained purely through the sheer hilarity that comes with something so irrational attempting to be presented as a serious story. This book is bad.
Who knows? Maybe this is my next move.
You good, my master?
I find my reality growing ever more frustrating, and sometimes I need to have this established by physical means.
Right, so that's your little rant over, Father. I do not entirely agree with your assessment. I think that while his stylistic writing can go quite far in places, there are some chapters in which it fits to illustrate how truly gruesome and depraved the Imperium can be. It's like he's painting a detailed, intricate picture with nothing but his words.
I agree with this comparison in only that treating this is like watching paint dry.
There's a balance to it.
We all have our problems with this account. From its sheer unbelievability to how this Watson man portrays everything with this bizarre sexual tinge.
Why, if it isn't the bacon calling the salmon oily.
It's adorable when I do it.
What I think he's getting at is that we've all got problems with this thing. Whether or not Jack Draco indeed managed to infiltrate the Imperial Palace and came in here and spoke with you, Lord.
A fact I refute vehemently.
The way this book is written makes it very hard to get invested in his travels, as it is quite clear he was, indeed, trying to get us invested.
He tried
if you feel
too
the
hard.
need to enhance a tale about a rogue secret inquisitor seeking to save the very Imperium of Man from total destruction at the hands of a sinister cult, then you have not told the story properly.
Rogle is correct. The story stood every chance of enrapturing us with its contents, and yet here we sit, repulsed.
It's rather sad when you think about it.
Kind of, yeah. Should we continue on and prepare to end this book?
Yes, please.
Sure. Whatever. This has gotten quite sad, and I would prefer to feel angry at the contents of this book.
Right away, my master. We left off at the overly descriptive lamp, window, and floor,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Good. Further described in the room which Draco and company find themselves are the pumps and machines that filled the throne with life. The life in this situation seems to be a number of fluids containing Xenos corpses and drugs, of all things. These pumps are manned by awful, lumpy children who look as though they have tuberculosis. Again, thank you for that, Mr. Watson.
This raises the question. Child, were you ever in the Underpalace?
Okay, I thought I was going crazy. Like, I'm hearing this humming and I'm like, Is this part of the... It is.
No, my lord. My friend says he was for a while.
Oh.
I haven't seen her in a long time, though. I think she has the job of greasing the gears and blood bumps.
Oh no.
Oh my. Moving on, I say that a lot this cast. There is an admittedly humorous depiction of petitioners trying to enter into the High Lord's hearing chamber. It is humorous as there are numerous merchants selling things to people on the line, from rocks dogs to all kinds of greasy finger foods and even portable latrines.
What?
Normal.
Before I was a boxer, my overseer wanted me to sell snacks to people in the line. I'm glad I got this job instead. I get to be with the Holy Emperor instead of getting stomped flat by folks in line like many of my siblings.
And that concludes chapter 17. One more to go, folks.
Yeah!
Inquisitor, chapter 18. The dawn of the final chapter.
Now, in the most baffling of scenarios, Draco and his party leave the palace and depart for the slums of the city surrounding the palace. What is the name of that city again?
I don't know, actually. I really am a privileged bastard, aren't I?
Huh. Well, they go to that city and apparently spend months moving back towards the palace.
What?
They do this because they think they are being followed by potential assailants. While roving through the city, they kill numerous people and murder more than a few families in order to assume their lifestyle and hide from these unseen assailants.
My gosh!
Bunch of fucking weirdos.
Yeah!
They're not very good people.
They eventually wind up at the Eternity Gate, disguised as somewhat high-ranking officials. I find it incongruous that they murder a Sister of Battle, a tech priest, a small child, and similar just so they can steal their identities and sneak into the palace.
Oh my gosh.
As if making their party look even more suspect and somehow help them break through our security protocols.
Maybe it was Taco Day?
Good point. Whatever the reason, they get pretty damn far into the literal Imperial Palace. I am ashamed.
I wouldn't be surprised. People seem to waltz into here all the damn time.
Before they're made to be made by the guards, time stops.
Father, apparently you stopped time so you could talk with him. You then conveyed his incorporeal form into this very throne room and spoke with him about already knowing all about the Hydra and that he would be your agent against evil.
So they didn't need to kill those families.
I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that this man has never in his life ever set foot in this throne room, corporeally or incorporeally.
I was gonna say, well, never set foot.
Surely cannot remember if you had ever spoken to him, Lord.
Sincerely. Neither this man nor his ramblings strikes even the smallest of bells within my memory. This unfortunately means that our entire story was all for naught. I hope.
As a custodian guard, this is quite gratifying, but as a reader of this book, it is thoroughly unsatisfying. And that is also the end of our book.
Inquisitor! Epilogue!
Oh no.
I'm feeling the burn from reading this now. I am not reading any more of it. If you people desperately want to know how it all ends, the book ends with an old man shitting himself to death.
What?
Is anyone surprised? No.
Ah, so it does, ending with a truly potent allegory to the human condition.
Inquisitor! Over.
Incredible, thank goodness.
I suppose.
Well, and truly.
Alright. So, since this took a year to get through and my entire body has been lit on fire by Ian Watson, I wish to stop here for now.
Yeah.
There will be no questions this time around because I know the vicious blob beasts listening to this will only make it worse.
Thank you for this mercy, my lord.
Thank you. And for inviting me onto this Voxcast, I would also like to say, what did I do to deserve this?
That is a great question.
Is this my way of repenting for my previous wrongdoings?
Honestly, yeah.
Please,
probably.
I beg of you, do not exact this intense a punishment on me again, for I fear my old body will not be able to take it. I must go now, and drink from the fountain of aspirin, and sleep, long and deep. I wish you all good recovery.
You're all a bunch of whiners.
Magnus, do you consume the taco on the Friday?
Oh
or
no,
the
not this
Tuesday?
conversation.
Taco Tuesday is on Friday.
Powers
of Coas prevail!
Incredible. Simply incredible. Yeah. What a time to be alive. That is terrible. That was so terrible. And I didn't even read it. I didn't even read it, and it just, oh my gosh. Absolute insanity. And my brain is also fried. And yes, I have seen, and I'm cursed. For once, a book Aurelia won't read. I wouldn't read this one. There are certain books I wouldn't read. There's a couple. We don't have to get into that. Yeah, I don't think I'd read this one. But, oh. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, so there you guys go. You guys got your thing. This will not be a VOD. This is only going to be here because I imagine if I try to republish this, YouTube is going to smack me into the sun, and I would rather just not. It's terrible. Oh. Please say this is not how Aurelia week ends. Well, there's no other streams this week, unfortunately. I'm very sorry, but there will be a stream on Monday. I'll be releasing the schedule in the Discord, so there's that. If you want more regular streams, we'll be doing more Hunter the Parenting, which has been great so far. Yeah, YouTube would be right to like mess with that, honestly. I can't say I blame them. But we will have a stream on Monday, but nothing for the next 3 days, which I apologize. I know it's normally, I usually do weekend stuff, but in lieu of that, the mods have come together to have a bunch of different games you guys are going to play at, I think it's 10 a.m. Pacific time. I forgot what it said, but basically 10 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday. There'll be a bunch of games, Space Marine, Helldivers, like whatever you guys want to play. They're going to be playing it in the Discord. Yeah, you're going to be gamers. You're going to be gamers. We'll have an announcement go out about it. So I apologize there's no streams, but this will have to do for the time being. Props on getting through this particular mess. Congratulations and condolences. Thank you. Thank you. And I apologize if I missed your bits or your super chats. Thank you, Paratrooper Dylan and Dino Fan. And then Super Orlock, thank you as well. I think I saw one earlier. I have no words for what I witnessed. I have no words. It's just, it's all terrible. It's all terrible. So, yes, we will be doing more Hunter the Parenting. Don't you worry, don't you worry. So I'll be posting a schedule here in the next day or two with the plan for next week. But yeah, my brain is fried and I don't think I should continue thinking, because after all that, I feel like I have a lot to process. There's a lot to process, to say the least. Anyways, yes, brain go burr. Anyways, thank you all for joining today. I'm glad that you enjoyed this very cursed stream. It was terrible. It was terrible, but it was funny. It was funny at how bad it was. Funny how bad it was. Anyways, I will see you all on Monday. And we'll do more Warhammer stuff. Well, not on Monday, technically. But we'll do more Warhammer-related things. And, will I be afraid to see the VOD? We'll have you watch the video before. If you haven't watched that video before, you should be afraid. But it's not like I say anything weird. So, I'm glad you guys like the stream. I never want to listen to that again, and we'll keep it that way. So, guys, take care of yourselves. Don't skip leg day, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye!